refugees returning from the refugee centers, we cannot conduct election. That is not correct information. Because a refugee is an individual who or she fled the country for reason known but to him or herself. People fled not because of war only. Some people fly, they went away because they fear political prosecution. Some just run because other people also are going. But once you cross the country, you register in a neighboring country as a refugee, your return to your country origin is voluntarily, Carlo.
Yes.
And this is what people of South Sudan must know. Political parties must know, civil society must know, chiefs must know, the media, the journalists, who are sometimes mistakenly or wrongly echoing this wrong information, that refugees must come first before you conduct election. A refugee coming, he cannot be tied to calendar or political process in any country, because it is the key word here is voluntary repatriation. Oslo Convention, Geneva Convention give the right of refugees to return voluntarily. Once refugees
and cannot be tied with
election calendar or political calendar of any country. This also apply for internal displaced. Anybody who is moving from his or her original Boma, Payam county to another place for reason whether voluntarily or forcefully because of the insecurity, that person or return to the original Boma or Payam must be voluntarily, not forcefully.
From his own will.
Forcefully.
But in this case of election, he has the right or she has the right to vote in the place where she is or he is.
Correctly. That's why I said in the beginning, if we go, people say, no, politicians are agitating. Then we must
but this is why now we are trying to educate ourselves. Nobody will educate us except we ourselves.
But this is what I was saying.
Yes.
Some politicians were agitating that we must have census before election. If we conduct census tomorrow, I said in the beginning, the Upper Nile is going to be the loser. Why? Because the population has moved away. 2010 census, 2010 census, 2008 census was better because there was population in Upper Nile in some most of the area. Now the data we have for 2008 census, if you compare to today, some Bomas, Payam, and the counties are empty now. People have been relocated because of insecurity, one, because of the war, secondly, because of the flooding. These two factors has caused massive displacement. Now, this massive displacement affects Upper Nile more than any other Equatoria and Barghazal. Now, we must be fair to our people. We cannot victimize the population of Upper Nile because the war forced them to move, the flooding forced them to move. We conduct census, and they are underrepresented. Then we say Upper Nile because the statistics say...
This is just an example.
This is the number. These are facts.
Those are facts.
We are giving the fact, Carlo. If you conduct census now, Upper Nile will be underrepresented. If they're underrepresented, what does that mean? That means they will have few MPs in the parliament. They have a little resources given to support the population there. And the resources will be more in Central Equatoria because the bulk of the people who are displaced internally are in Central Equatoria. So Central Equatoria will have more population. If you quantify this population to the geographical constituencies, they will have more constituencies. If you do it for socio-economic planning, even Central Equatoria must have more schools.
More hospitals.
More hospitals.
Because of the population.
And then also...
Even we can see now... There is
even roads. Because population are more. But then you look at Upper Nile, there are few people. That means there are few schools. There are few health centers. There are few constituencies. These are facts we must put to table to our politicians. Because we are interested, census can cause us a problem for us. Because if Upper Nile is underrepresented, the population may not accept the outcome of the census. They may think the census is biased against them. It can even be a source of conflict for us. So we are saying to our people, let us take our time, provide conducive environment for people to return to their villages so that they can conduct census. For election purposes.
And then we cannot tie census with the election calendar.
Yes.
This is justification.
That's what I'm saying.
Good, wonderful.
Now, when it comes to constitutional making process, I want to reemphasize again. We are not making a constitution for political party who are signatory to revitalize peace agreement. We are making a constitution for the Republic of South Sudan, which will outlive me and you are speaking here, and all the politicians who are here. It must go beyond our generation. Therefore, we cannot tie. Beyond our generation, there's nothing called revitalize agreement.
Ambassador, let me just give you this information.
Yes.
From 2005
Yes.
up to 2025, we have children.
Yes.
They're already grown up, boys and girls.
Yes.
They're eligible to vote.
Yes.
Most of them are in the secondary schools and even now in the universities.
Correct.
They didn't exercise any
democratic right.
Any democratic rights. This is the first time for them. Yeah. And they're the majority. It needs a massive education from us to these educational institutions.
Civic education, you mean? Serious
civic education.
Yes.
So that they will be aware about their political rights to vote because they're eligible. They were born in 2005. Today now they are 20 years.
Yes.
Plus CPA, they're 25 years. They are eligible to vote, and they are the majority of this country. And they need to be given right information so that they exercise their political rights. And this is our main target. And this is what we are focusing on to our politicians and even to the political parties and to the ministries of education.
Let me make a small correction here. Carlo, the CPA, since the CPA to now, we have 20 years.
20 years.
Not 25.
Okay.
Since we signed CPA in 2005, now we are 2025, we have 20 years.
Yeah.
Since I know CPA.
Good.
But the point which is very important here, Carlo, is this. We are providing civic education in general form.
Yeah.
It is not our right as citizen here to come to the national TV and say, you citizen of South Sudan, vote for party X and Y. That's not our job.
No.
The political party, once the election calendars come out, will bring them here in this program.
Yeah, they will come with their...
they will come and talk about their manifesto. And they will tell the people of South Sudan why people should vote for them.
Yeah.
Ours is to say to people of South Sudan, let the citizens have right to exercise their democratic right to vote.
Yeah.
And politicians should not deny them that right by putting obstacle which they know it cannot be implemented, such as conducting first the census, and then make permanent constitution first, while they know very well that the permanent constitution and census cannot be done because they, the politicians themselves, have not provided money for these activities.
Yeah.
It is
especially like the one of the national
it is very unfair.
Bureau of Statistics.
Yeah, it's very unfair.
When we met them, the time after the extension we visited them, they did not get £1.
I'm saying to you now, Carlo, this program, Build a Nation, its objective is provide factual information for people of South Sudan. We are building South Sudan, we must build South Sudan with the correct foundation, not lies, not deception, not misinformation or propaganda. We have no interest in all those things. What we're saying is politicians who are signatory to agreement, we recognize them. You see, Carlo, it's very important to remind people again. Why do we support the Revitalized Peace Agreement? The Revitalized Peace Agreement has permanent constitution, permanent ceasefire.
Yes.
Since 2018. The skirmishes here and there are just small skirmishes, but the real ceasefire is holding. That's why we have government here in Juba, where all the party who are signatory to the agreement are sitting in the government. We have the bulk of South Sudan is stable. Our enemy is the current economic crisis. If not because of the current economic crisis, life should move on in South Sudan. But we appeal to our government and the political parties who are signatory to the agreement, please put aside your personal interest, put interest of South Sudan first, so that you sacrifice your political, we say before, Carlo, the root causes of crisis in South Sudan are three. People pretend to say there are a lot of things. The root cause of problem in South Sudan are only three. Number one main issue is there is trust deficit. There's a trust deficit among our political elite. They don't trust themselves. Number two, the proliferation of the rebellion. The rebellion became a vehicle to come to power. It has been done in interest of the national unity, but the political elite think that it is rebellion which is paying. That's why in order to get high ranking in the military, you must rebel. In order to become a minister, you must rebel. And if they become a minister, they then sit there. When they are sitting as a minister, the government is good. But once that individual has been removed, he becomes the hardened critic of the government.
The government is bad.
Everything in the government is bad. It is not right. But why didn't you say it when you were in the government? Why didn't you tell people of South Sudan that I, X and Y, I'm resigning from this government because of X and Y? Exactly. Nobody have resigned. They only discover that the government is doing mistakes when they are out. That is the root cause of the problem in South Sudan. The other problem, the number three, is the lack of will to subject themselves to people through election.
This is what we have been educating ourselves about.
They are avoiding election because when they know that when election is conducted, the position some individuals are holding now, they cannot have it with election. So what we are saying here is we address these root causes through democratic transformation. And it is the will of people of South Sudan which end this trust deficit, end the proliferation of the rebellion, and then restore the power to the hand of people of South Sudan through ballot box. And we want to applaud President Salva Kiir for that. He continuously stated that time has come, people must go for election. I think that any political party listening now, if you don't have faith in people of South Sudan, and then you have no business calling yourself a political party. You must have faith in people of South Sudan so that they can bring you or they can reject you. But if you are not prepared to this, then you cannot talk about election.
Now we are preparing ourselves within these 24 months, which is going to commence soon after 2 weeks' time. We are preparing ourselves for that peaceful election.
Absolutely.
Peaceful democratic process in this country. And we need to, peace is a strategical plan of the government generally, because President wants to silence guns in this country, and we must embark on that so that we prepare our citizens for that process to be peaceful. So that we continue beating the drums of peace, so that we exercise that political rights peacefully, periodic. If you fail this year, after 5 or 4 years, you will also exercise that right if you are still alive until you will achieve your objectives. And this is our main objectives for this process of civic education. Ambassador.
Carlo, I want to say again that
because we are almost running out.
It is so important. We cannot be gagged or told not to talk about Tumaini. Tumaini is a process for this country. If you look at iRadio, Mirai Radio, every morning they're broadcasting live program about Tumaini.
You know, they have resources.
I'm saying we cannot be told not to discuss Tumaini. Tumaini is process which is bringing peace in South Sudan. Progress made in Tumaini, we applaud. Yesterday, I saw in TV, the deputy chief negotiator, Ambassador Mohamed Guyu, give update on what has been done.
Which is good.
Which is very good. What we are saying here is Tumaini process is a process which is necessary to bring those all other groups to become part of the government.
This is wonderful.
And we are saying that also, the other side, which are not there, there must be a process to bring them back.
They must be engaged. And it's good that through other medias that they are engaging other...
In this occasion, Carlo, we want to congratulate our church leaders for making effort also to conduct those Thomas Cirillo.
Which is wonderful.
So that we encourage that one. So that they can also become
part that engagement.
So that there's a process going also there.
Yes,
Because when you talk about power sharing or responsibility sharing, if you share power with the group into Tumaini now, and then you do not have agreement with those Thomas, again when they come, they also want power sharing. So if this process can go together, even though parallel to one another, so that we can know that these people are coming, they need this much. Those people to mine, they need this much. The current government will do this much. So that we don't have revolving door of rebellion.
Yeah.
Because the problem...
And we end that rebellion, door of rebellion, and we prepare people for elections.
Absolutely.
So that they are elected their own leaders. And this is our main target in this program of today.
I want to appeal to our people. Please, let's put aside the fact that if you are removed from position, then you jump and start becoming rebellion. Or you become negative against the government. If you feel that something not right in the government, you are in the government, resign. And then tell the people of South Sudan, I'm resigning because of this and this. But don't take when you are removed and then somebody else appointed, then you say, oh, this government not good. Oh, this is not correct this way. So this is the disease we have in South Sudan.
This is part of civic education. Yes. You know, Ambassador, those are the things that we did not discover. We discover it after this rebellion is happening now. And we are compiling them in one file so that we can say this is good and this is wrong. And then we learn through our mistakes.
Even within the political party, Carlo,
yes,
must have internal democracy.